Hey guys, welcome back to Game Room Theater. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the lighting in the game room. You guys have, if you've been subscribed for some time, you've seen the existing lighting. I mean, I've made some minor changes perhaps since my last video, but I won't talk about the individual things just yet. But everything's on smart switches and comes on when I say turn the game room on via Google Home. So every device in here, because it would be a pain to have to turn everything on individually. I mean, to be honest, not everything is running at all times anyway. So, you know, especially on a Friday or Saturday night when we're entertaining, usually everything is on. But we are in lockdown, and the lockdown continues at the time of shooting of this video. So, mid-December, I figured you know, since we're not going to have any family or friends over, I wanted to at least give my family a party type of atmosphere. And I'll demo that party type of atmosphere, so please guys watch this video in its entirety. I'll talk a bit more detail, and you'll hopefully be wowed as much as I was when it all got set up and what that looked like. So the magic is really from these DJ lights. They're called moving headlights that DJs would use. So, you know, they go about 570 degrees or so all the way around, and they go about 180 degrees on the y-axis. So I ended up getting 4, and I'll have in the description of the video I'll have all of the model numbers listed. I'm not gonna link to a specific site because I don't have any links created to them. But anyway, this isn't the first set either. I experimented in December with 4 other sets of lights, and I ended up getting 4 of the same because they're easier to program together. And the way they're programmed together, so once you guys see the light show, you'll see that there is it's not just chaos. They bounce to sound. You can adjust the level of sound that they react to. But all of these extra cables, these are called DMX cables. There's an input and output, and the way I've got it set up right now is that this guy is the master, and then all 3 of these are the slaves. And the master, so you know, if the master reacts this way, technically, I mean, they're programmed out of the box to all go the same way. So the way I've got it, where the effect is much nicer than them all doing the exact same thing, which is cool if you want to do that effect too, is basically you reverse the direction. You can do that in the menus. There's buttons here, and I'm not going to go through each individual thing because this video will end up being like 30 minutes long. You guys can look up the model number, and then if you do decide to get lights like this or similar, they'll come with their own set of instructions. So anyway, the way I've got these is that if the master points this way, I have the 4th one pointing the exact opposite way. So so if the master also is pointed that way and pointed up slightly, this will go the same direction. So that's how I've got it. And then these 2 are also copying the master, but I have them doing the opposite thing. So this one will point inwards like that, and then this one will point inwards like that. So that's how they look when they're reacting, but in motion. So keep in mind, one of the it may be a major negative for you is that these are very bright 60-watt LEDs in these, and they all have fans in them. Let me just show you guys. So this thing is almost like a PC fan, but it runs at a very high velocity, so it's rather noisy, and then the unit itself has a fan in it as well. So if you can imagine 4 of these with 8 fans running, and when I demo it in the dark, you'll see what I mean. So it's fairly loud, but we only use this when we're listening to music, or you know, there's a whole bunch of commotion going on. You can't have a quiet space when this is running. So what you know, we turn up the volume and it drowns out the noise, but the plus being just the ambiance that this creates. Before I demo that as well, let me just talk about, while these things are off and I have all the lights on, about what I did in the theater room. So in the theater room, I actually programmed these lights. There's two moving headlights. They're very small. They're basically like the smaller version of what's in that other room. I think these are about 40 watts. I could be mistaken, but I'll have the model number in the description as well. So you know, if you want to control these DJ moving headlights to do individual moves and point at certain things in unison, then you need something a bit more sophisticated. And by that I mean what you need is a DMX controller, and that's what this thing is. So this is what I ended up using, and again, the purpose of this video is more to guide you guys towards what you should get, and then you can look up. There's plenty of videos that go into, like, you know, 20-30 minute detail how to program scenes and how to program these lights to point to scene 1, then scene 2, then scene 3, and come back and repeat and change colors and all of that. You can literally do all of that. And the reason why I have it outside is I don't want to ruin the look inside the theater room by having this thing just laying somewhere. So I just have it just outside of the theater room. And this thing picks up sound as well. So I can have it reacting to sound in the theater room, but you know, that ended up I found to be a bit more gimmicky than necessary. So the other bit, before I turn the lights off and talk about it while everything is running and I've got it in nighttime party mode, is I added these. You guys may have seen plenty of these, especially if you're into gaming PCs or a game room PC setups. You know, these are nanoleaf lights, and they're currently reacting to sound as well. They react to touch as well. I just run it reacting to sound. So as I'm talking, as you can see, as I'm talking, it is reacting to the sound. So this adds a really nice party type of touch. I mean, if you wanted to be a more sophisticated, then you can just have them on, you know, dim them further. I'm running them at full brightness just for the sake of this video, so that they come out. But you can run them very low and not have them bounce as much, and you can push from your phone different colors and different ways that it can that you want the lights to react. I don't want to forget about this. So once you're coming down into the game room, this sign is actually battery powered. I got it for fairly cheap. You can find them online, and I've never had to replace the battery in 2 years. They have I believe it was 4 D-size batteries, and it turns off by itself after 4 hours, but it seems that I haven't had to replace the batteries at all, and I run it usually on the weekends. Okay, now this is really why you guys click to watch the video, is to see what the effect looks like. And again, it's hard to describe in person, but you know, obviously when a movie's playing, I don't have these kinds of shenanigans on. The lighting is on a lot of times when sports are on and I haven't programmed to do a certain thing. Like, for example, the Lakers are playing, these will go, I'll have them in yellow. You know, Raptors are playing, they'll be in red. I'm demonstrating the red now, so that, you know, both of these lights, they're moving, and they're moving in exact basically opposite directions on one axis, and that's why I'm able to create this effect. So let's see, you know, this light will then it's a chase scene running on the DMX controller. So I just have them going through some not random, programmed routines, and I found this to be better. So at no time does a light point directly at people seated in the seats. And again, this is the DMX controller that I've used, and again, there's plenty of videos on YouTube. I may in the future, if there's enough interest, do a quick tutorial on the DMX controller, but there's guys that have been in the DJ industry for years and years that are far better than I'll ever be. So I mean, this is all in the last 2 weeks, so I may or may not do one, depending on, you know, people commenting that they want to see that. So that's what's going on here. And now let's go outside. So as you guys can see, it's not completely dark, but there's plenty of wonderful ambiance. You know, the nanoleaf casting light here. You know, I've still got those side screens running. And here it is. Check this out. It just creates such a vast look. I mean, I'm beside myself like every time I see this. It's just such a fantastic effect. It's almost like the ceiling has been removed. You know, people were commenting on my Instagram, you know, what kind of LEDs are you running in the ceiling? And I have to tell them it's not LEDs. It's these powerful 60 watts each moving headlights. All right, so these lights have what they call a gobo effect. There's a 7-wheel design thing that's rotating. You can have it static, or you can have it just going through. So for the sake of this video, it's just going through the different designs. Like, you know, there's a ring pattern that you just see now. There's that. There's a few. So you can have it randomized. You can have it just go through each one of them. So that's what's going on now. It's kind of, I mean, it's just going through all of the different effects. But again, you know, it's hard to put this in the video on how this looks in person. It really looks like the ceiling has disappeared, and it's just, you know, there's something going on in the sky. And just see what it's done to the rest of the room, like the shades and colors that it creates. So usually I just have it running as blue and static. But just for the sake of this video, I'm just going to keep it running as is, and hopefully nobody has a stroke with any kind of strobing effect. I should probably put a warning in the beginning of the video. So, you know, the noise that I was talking about, like, see, there's no music playing right now. Let me get close so you guys can tell what's going on. You know, all these fans are on. There's 8 fans on, 4 in the lights themselves, and then the bottom has a fan as well. Let me just double check that. Yeah, the bottom is not making any noise, but I may be mistaken if there's a fan in there. But the noise is really coming from behind, right here. So anyway, it's not a deal breaker by any stretch, especially if you have multiple people over. They're talking amongst themselves, and you're not sitting right by the lights. Then it's not going to be a problem. So here's what I was talking about: why you need the fog lights to create an effect. You've got the light source there as a point, and the effect there. So if you want to create an atmosphere where you see the beams of light, you have no choice but to really create something that allows the light to bounce off of. So the fog machine is actually perfect for that, and I love running it, like especially when listening to music and a beat drops, and I suddenly turn those lights. I'll add a clip of my New Year's party update and show you guys what that looked like. But I'm gonna run the fog machine now, and I'll be right back. So I just hit it once in a while, a little at a time. Not a lot of fog is necessary, but you'll see in a minute once this fog starts spreading. Let me just go right through it. Once this starts hitting the beam of light, like look what it does. So it starts adding to that incredible effect that I really wanted, especially when we're sitting here watching any music videos or listening to music. It actually feels like we're in a concert, you know. Especially now, it just means that much more when we're stuck at home. So, you know, I can control the lights to go separate like that. Like as I was indicating earlier, you know, 2 go the opposite direction of each other. There's a master, and I can make the lights go up and down here, up. Or I can just get it completely out of the way and just be changing over there. Alright guys, here's a quick demo clip. I won't talk too much over this, but just for the next 20 seconds, you know, you'll see the beat drop and then the lights react to the sound of the beat, and fog show as well. Alright, let me step back a little bit. So thanks a lot guys for watching. Do hit the bell notification icon, that way you will know next time I upload another video. And do subscribe, share this video if you found this useful or at least inspiring. And that's kind of the whole reason why I'm doing these videos is, you know, I'm entertaining my family, and I've taken plenty of inspiration from others that I've seen, and blazed a new trail for some others. So hopefully you guys can recreate some of that magic in your space or in your home, and don't be afraid to try your hand in a new thing and do it yourself. That's where you end up saving a little bit. So thanks again guys, I really appreciate the fact that we just hit 7,000 since the last video, and people are finding things useful, so I find that very rewarding, and I'm gonna continue to crank out some videos. Thanks again guys, take care.